And where does like the album process start for you? Because obviously back in school days, I feel like every single idea that we had started with a brainstorm.
Yeah.
Do you put like a lot of pressure on yourself? Like, I don't even kind of know like where to start on making this new album.
Well, I'm always like tinkering with something. Like I'm always like, there's a piano in my living room. I'm always like just walking over, even when there's something on the TV, probably doing everyone's head in.
Yeah.
But picking up a guitar and maybe singing a verse or a chorus in, and then I'd start listening to my voice notes and go, geez, that's all right, actually.
Yeah.
Might have to work on that. And then before you know it, you've done 2 or 3 times that, and then you got 3 songs, and then you're like, let's just keep going now. And to be fair, this time I wanted to have like a concept. I needed something to like keep me focused on what types of songs I needed to write. And the Heartbreak Weather thing was one of the first things that I ever wrote down, and it kind of helped me like pave the way for what songs I needed to write, because I was matching the weather part to like feelings that you feel when you go through a breakup. Because it's not always sad all the time. So there was quite egotistical sounding songs on it, and then there's like the ballads and the really sad ones and a bit of everything.
Yeah.
So once I got that, then I was right. They were going now. That came pretty quick, to be fair. Once I knew in my head, I just want to have a bit more fun.
Yeah.
Everything was a little bit more calm, and I just kept flowing. And I've been lucky to this point that I haven't got to a point where I've been like, so what do I sound? What do I do? What do I sound like? Like, there's been days when you're in the studio and you're going, what am I doing here? Sometimes I just get up and leave.
Really?
Yeah.
Guys, I can't do this today.
Because you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
You're like trying to come up with something, and you're sitting there for hours and hours and hours and nothing's happening. I just get up and leave and come back the next day. And
I feel like a lot of the time as well, like I speak to quite a lot of artists, and it's like they actually need to have real life experiences in order to obviously write. Do you feel the same as well? Because obviously there's a lot of like emotion and love on this second album. Would you say that every single song links back to one of your own personal experiences, or can you write in the zone even if you haven't been through it?
A bit of both. I'd say this is about, I'd say 90% personal. Obviously, when you start writing personal songs, sometimes your story's not good enough and on that topic, so you like try and relate it to something else that you know of. But yeah, I'd say it was all quite personal, really.
So you was heartbroken?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It's not great, is it?
Sorry.
Good tunes, though.
Look what was birthed from it.
Sure, I'll tell you what.
Are you feeling better now? Are you still heartbroken?
What an album. Yeah, I'm fine now, yeah.
Hey, give me 5.
Come on.
Woo! No more heartbreak. Does the person know that all these tracks are about them?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, wow.
But I think I've like covered all angles of the relationship from everyone's point of view.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Obviously.
I mean, it'll probably still sound really selfish, but my idea when I was writing them was that they were written from other people's angles and stuff. But listen, it's all good. It's all good in the hood.
It's all a blessing, man.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like you had a lot of fun writing Nice to Meet Ya and doing the video as well. I feel like this was really you, like, yes, this is like a song that I love with 100% of my heart. How was it writing that track, obviously making the video?
That was fun.
Did you just feel like free?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I think the minute the song starts, it sounds like freedom.
Yeah.
Like when you hear the opening thing and how the song started, it was on a day when nothing was happening, and I was just messing around with guitar pedals. And actually, when I came up with the riff, I was bent over at the guitar pedals, like trying to change the sound on the floor, and kind of had the guitar like on my lap, and just started going like, and that's how the song started. Everyone went, "What?
Look at this! What's going on?"
And then straight away, we just went off on a tangent, and kind of was one of those ones that wasn't really. I'm usually like a storyteller in terms of like when I try and construct a song, I usually try and start at the verse and kind of sing my way through it. This one was kind of like, I was going to just pick up a microphone and sing my most random best melodies into the microphone as the groove is playing in the background. And we just kind of jigsawed it together at the end. So it was a bit more loose than how I usually write. I love this song. I love playing it live. Yeah. Like I feel like it's a completely different tune live. And when I play it live, the place goes off, even if they don't particularly know the tune. We're
going to talk about your tour a little bit later on, but like when it comes to making these tunes, when a tune is 100% complete, do you already have a vision of where it's kind of going to slot in the album track listing? Like how many tunes didn't make the cut for the album? I've got so many questions.
Loads didn't make it, but I was kind of like, with the concept thing, I was trying to tell a story throughout the track listing, which helped me choose what songs were going to be beside each other and stuff like that. Obviously, if the production didn't match, I'd try and keep them away from each other. But yeah, so many songs. I wrote about 55 maybe songs, just write. You know, like sometimes you just get in a flow and you write. Sometimes I'd write 2 a day, and then I wouldn't write for a week, and then you know, you just kind of get like that. And then I was easy to whittle it down to about 20.
You done that by yourself or the whole team?
Yeah, I did that one by myself.
That
but
makes
to be
it
fair,
easier
it's pretty like you're pretty much in agreement to a certain point, and then it's fighting over what the last couple.
Do you feel like you made the right decision?
Yeah, like there's ones where really I have to make the last decision myself, but I do like to palm it off to a few people and get their opinions on what they think should stay and what should go. But I got it to 16 and then whittle it down from there, but it was good.
So you, Harry and Louis are all releasing projects roughly around the same time.
That's right, yeah.
Did you call each other up beforehand like, yo, don't drop your project on the same day as mine?
Probably the only thing we don't talk about is music, and
Really?
it's our own fault because we've all ended up releasing music around the same time. And I had like people coming up to me, like mates of mine who know me really well, and saying like, is this some sort of like publicity stunt that all of you are like releasing tunes at the same time?
Basically coming back. This is what you're trying to say.
And we were just like, it's the only thing that we don't talk about is that.
Really?
And we've all ended up releasing tunes. I remember at one point there was like 5 out of 7 weeks there was a One Direction member releasing a tune or something like that at one point last year, and I was just like, Jesus, we should probably talk about this.
Is there a bit of friendly competition between you guys?
No, I mean, we all release completely different types of music.
Yeah.
I reckon if we were like, you know, the same type of tunes, then yeah, probably.
You'd be like, hit number 1,
yeah.
you number 2.
I mean, everyone's smashing it, so we can't really complain. You know.
You talk to each other still quite a lot? But just like friendly stuff, like casual?
We don't really talk about like, work stuff. We'd enough of that.
Yeah.
We obviously don't get to see each other as much.
Do you miss them a lot?
I mean, there's certain parts of it. Sometimes, like when you'd be at a gig or something that happened, and it would remind you of something that happened on stage years ago. I'd go, "Geez, I wish the boys were here to see that." You know, like random. I don't know, something might happen random in the crowd, or an interview in a foreign country might turn a corner and it might have happened before or something like that, and it'll just remind me.
Yeah.
And I would just be like, I'd just start laughing or something. But yeah, the odd time.
Yeah,
there's certain parts of it.
Do you look back at like certain years in your life, obviously like when you first started out, like wow, like that part of my life really like was a blur. Like I didn't really understand what was happening, but it was all happening at the same time. You know, you're traveling the whole entire world at like 17, 18, 19. Now being 27 this year, you're like, wow, it can finally digest and I can see what we done to the world.
No, and this year has been big for me because I've been talking about it, you know, and like people are saying it's 10 years since you started, so there's a lot of that like reminiscent stuff going on. When it was happening, it was like we were in our own little bubble and everyone else was outside it, because I didn't realise the phenomenon, like apart from the fact that we played to 60,000 people every night, but I didn't really realise that like how big it was until it stopped. And like looking back and reading news clips and blah blah blah, you realised how big it was and how much of an effect it had. At the time, it was just we were just kind of like, young lads just bouncing around,
having fun, having the time of your life,
having a great time. Didn't really overthink it, just loving it for what it was. I mean, it was nuts.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It was a lot of hard work, but it was worth it in the end.
Is there a song that sticks out on the album that you had the most fun making?
Black and White, which is the second track on the album. Being in the room when we were writing that song, I've never felt anything like it.
What does it look like?
A lot of jumping around. There was a lot of
How many people in the room?
3 of us, and we were just jumping all over the place like lunatics. Because it's kind of like a happy 4 on the floor, just driving tune kind of vibes. Oh, I've never felt anything like it, honestly. It's just, sometimes I still get goosebumps when I think about it.
Wow.
And how natural the melodies were, and how the idea came together about it being like a wedding song based on a title, because I had the title Black and White for a while, but I was thinking I'm not the only person that's ever written down black and white, so how do I make it different? And I decided that the black was going to be a black suit and the white was going to be the white dress, and it was a wedding day type tune. I've got a video that I'm going to release actually this week, because I remember, and it never happens. Like, I've written so many songs and I've never like videoed the making of it or anything. So I just
like, hold on, I need to get my phone out for this.
Yeah, honestly, and we were all listening back to it. We were jumping up and down, and I think I had this video. I can't find it, but I had one that literally I said, when this song gets released, I'm going to release this video, and that's what I say in the video.
Oh my
that was when the day we were writing it.
Wow,
good feeling.
Can you remember how you felt leaving as well? Like, I've just made a banger. Like, this is it.
To this day, I still listen to it, and that was last April. Like, I still remember the feeling.